Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Full Force News Burst Live with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, brought to you by Generals Joe's REBORN.com. Yes, it has been a day, hasn't it? It's been a very busy old day. It has been pre-order day for the G.I. Joe Classified series. I did warn everybody. I did say here, like, this is what we know listings wise, and this is what's going up for pre-order. And it's funny. I still I'll see comments like, I didn't know this was happening. And I'll be like, well, if you followed the full force, you'd have known. In any case, no, it's one of those weird things, I think, these sort of like pre-order drops where there isn't like an official statement beforehand. And we were told at Toy Fair, and I did a thing over the weekend for Toy Fair, that there were going to be pre-orders. They gave us a date. They gave us what was going to be, they said what was going to be going up for pre-order. And I think because there isn't that sort of like Hasbro post to say it's going, this is what's happening in the next couple of days, I think just people miss out on it. And it's definitely one of those things, isn't it? It's like, and I know that the format for this show is a lot of long form live streams. I don't expect everybody to be watching every single second of every single thing that we put out there. So I totally understand that. But like it's a weird one. And I think, I do get very surprised when Hasbro don't make a advance notice. Like, we've just revealed some stuff and then maybe post that reveal to say pre-orders to come on this day. It just seems that makes more sense, doesn't it? To like have people ready, able to kind of get in there. I don't know why that happens. Anyway, we had pre-orders today. You're welcome, Newfie. Yes, this morning we even had Breaker going up on target early, so that was nice to kind of like kind of get that out of the way and done and dusted. We'll talk about how everyone did later, if everyone got what they needed. Yes, I believe there are some sellouts, including Breaker on Pulse and on target. But as we've seen in the past, keep going back, keep dipping in, because we've seen in the past that exclusives will come back into stock again. Not necessarily on Pulse, but almost certainly on Target's system. So yeah, keep checking that link, because like I said, and it's usually like it's evening time, and then very late in the middle of like the night, there'll be like it'll be a backup again, or early in the morning. So just keep your eye on it. Anyway, lots of cool stuff to get stuck into today. Got more images to talk about as well, from like the promo images and stuff. Loads more for Breaker, which I want to kind of get into. And does anyone know what number mustard and ketchup is? You mean the Diver 2-pack? I think it's one. Is it 152? Hang on, I have written this down somewhere because a few people asked me that question, and I answered it. In fact, if you just go on, I'll tell you where I can find out. I'll tell you for why. If you go onto His Tank, they have a ton of images from the show floor. And even though my images did not catch the number on the box, I believe theirs did. I could be wrong. Maybe my pictures caught the number on the box in that case. Someone will let you know in the comments. Can someone let Scott know in the comments what number the Diver 2-pack is, please? Because 152 is claw. Thank you, Blitz. You're right. 152 is the claw. That's what I was getting mixed up with. The Diver 2-pack does have a number, obviously, and I do know what it is because I've had people send me, like, someone even sent me like a whole list of the numbers that were up there. Let's have a look. Yep. Not a clue at the moment. Sorry about this. We'll move on because we've got stuff to talk about. But 163, says Lone Dragon. It could very well be 163. It could very well be 163. In any case, maybe I'll let you know someone will let you know. But I'll try and figure that one out because I'm pretty sure 163 is Cold Slither, so it's 169, says Flaffle 57. It could be that as well. Has someone got like a legitimate number on this? Because I cannot remember what it is. off the top of my head. Anyway, first question, first fail. Let's get into the classified pre-orders from today. I can, however, tell you, Scott, that the 2-pack, yeah, it is 169. Thank you. I can tell you that the Diver 2-pack is also a Target exclusive. So in the same way that Breaker was today. Again, that was one of those things where we've been saying that Breaker's a Target exclusive for the longest time, and lo and behold, it was, which is good. That didn't change, thankfully. But interesting as well, doesn't it? Because this does change the theme for Target. No more Tiger Force and Python Patrol, or at least no more in the kind of, initially. There might be more in the future, obviously, but, it seems like a theme change has taken place for Target. Jedi Ben says, can't look, I'm driving. Sorry. Just listen then. But yeah, it looks like it's 169 according to Blitz. Thank you, Blitz. Anyway, yeah, lots of pre-orders dropped today, which is good. As we mentioned, it would be the Legacy Firefighter, which was kind of general retail. Breaker, Target, of course, and then Snake Eyes and the Bear. I still think it's a Fanmazon release, but at the same time, it's sort of everywhere. So it might just be one of those things that they don't really do anymore, if you know what I mean. Like Fanmazon might not necessarily be like a channel. It might just be everything. But it seems to be everywhere, Snake Eyes and the Polar Bear. I could be wrong on that one. It might be Amazon and like, is it online retail? I think that's what Fanmazon means, like fan channels, basically. So yeah, but it was also on Pulse, so it was pretty much everywhere. It's hard to like gauge what the point is for some of this stuff sometimes. Maybe it just means Amazon as well. But then again, I think everything was on Amazon as well. So I don't know. It's all good. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. What matters is they went up, and I think some of them are still there. It's just Breaker, I think, at the moment that has sold out. I believe, anyway. Last time we checked, which was about an hour ago, everything was still available. So Flint is still available. The retros usually stay up for a while, unless there's like a really like like a crazy popular what's the word? Troop builder is the word I'm looking for. But yeah, it looks like everything from the retro wave is still in stock. It looks like, yep, Snake Eyes is still available, and the Legacy Firefighter also still available. So it really is, I think, just Breaker that has sold out on both Pulse and the other place, Target. Jeremy says sometimes Amazon doesn't participate in a product, oddly. Yeah, it doesn't. It's weird that it has to be like a separate sort of thing. But anyway, let's start with the Search and Rescue Firefighter. Yes, I've added some I've given it some sort of like a structure with these images now. You might tend to see a pattern when I put these slideshows together. Like I tend to try and put like some of the standard, like the kind of like white background, black background images together. Like this is, I've got a title for this one, which is nice. And then I'll do the promo images because I find that they're most exciting. So they get like the last, they saved till last, basically. Breaker was still on Pulse UK, says as MB. Cool. That's good to know. All I know is that it's sold out in the United States of America. In the UK, I don't think did it make it to Canada? I want to say it might be on some of the channels in Canada. But for the most part, I think that people were finding it hard to get hold of Breaker initially anyway. But no, it's I kind of, it's going to sound really bad, but I like it when things sell out. Not in like I'm glad you didn't get one. More of, I'm really glad it's a successful line and continues to be a successful line. So yeah, Breaker is a fan channel in Canada. Thank you, Rogue. Breaker is back on. Just got one with Snake Eyes and Polar Bear. I asked for in third in this very stream a year ago. Interesting. Back on, is he? Breaker in what sense? In Pulse? Because it's saying here sold out at the moment on Pulse in the US. For me, yeah, still sold out. Maybe maybe try Target. Maybe try Target, guys. Anyway, Yeah, search if you're looking at the image, like the thumbnail image in like a group of images, it'll still say pre-order above it. When you click on the actual item to then order it, it will tell you it's sold out. It just FYI, if that might be the mistake that might be made there, or you're in the UK and it's still in stock, which is fine. Anyway, keep trying though. If you missed out, keep trying, especially Target. Keep trying Target, because eventually they'll come back in. There'll be moments when it appears again. It's happened every single time. Sold out at Target unless it just went up in the last 5 minutes. Yeah, absolutely, Evan, it is. I've checked as well. Killer King says, yup, Pulse on mine is showing up. Where are you located, Killer King? USA? Because I'm literally refreshing it right now and it says sold out as we speak. Sold out. If you're in the UK, then 100%, yeah. Someone's already mentioned that it's still available. Anyway, Firefighter. We'll get back to that. Keep trying. Keep trying is all I'll say. We got a few more images of the Firefighter. Again, like the loadout. I wonder actually if, I think I had these before, I just reorganized them. So we've got a little bit more in the kind of packaging layout here, but look all that stuff, man. He comes with some good like gear, doesn't he? Like the helmet, the mask, the alternate head, the goggles, separate goggles, obviously. 3 axes. The freaking, well, it turns out it is a Halligan tool. I know we had all that chat the other night of it not being, because it was missing a kind of piece, but no, it's there. It's just the way it's angled, you can't see it. Oh, Killer King is in Ohio. Cool. Well, that's great. I'm happy that you're seeing it in stock. Not here, unfortunately, and a few other people are still having that same problem. But like I said, keep trying, and you might get lucky like Killer King there. Yeah, the Halligan tool, obviously, that again was a bone of contention yesterday on the show. But again, it is clearly a Halligan tool. There is an extra little kind of bit on there to make it a Halligan tool. We've got the what they call the 2 sledgehammers, little one and a big one. The Jaws of Life and the tank, which attaches to the secondary as well. I believe so, Robert. I believe the Firefighter, they've done Asian descent and a darker skin tone as well. So yeah, it's really cool that we've got a little bit of diversity going on in the firefighters there. Very, very cool. Yeah, and of course the blanket, the marathon blanket that you get wrapped in when you run a marathon. But yeah, very, very awesome. And again, that I've got to say, the just in general, the look of this figure is phenomenal. And when you start getting in all the other images, it's great. I love the fact we've got a little, rear shot of the package. Can I let you in on something here? I failed you guys big time at Toy Fair. I was so caught up in everything. When it got to the end of our time at Toy Fair, we were kind of being moved out, right? We were kind of being like ushered away, and I just remember I was in the process of asking Lenny, can we turn the boxes around so I can take pictures of the back? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then as he was kind of going to go to get them, we start getting ushered out, and I was like, oh no, I left it too long. I could have got images of all of the backs of the packages, and I failed, and I feel really bad for that. I don't think anyone did get images of the backs of the packages, of the other, like all the new stuff, basically, to see the homages and all that. So I feel really bad because I just thought of it too late, and I will take the hit for that one from the fandom because I just did not act fast enough. So my bad on that one. In any case, yeah, they don't play at the Javits Centre. They don't. So I will endeavor to try and find images of the backs of those packages. But yeah, anyway, Travis says, please help me understand how they sell out of a pre-order. No Pulse early access and email was sent after Breaker sold out. Hasbro consistently screws us over and they don't give a crap. There's so much to unpack in that, Travis, that it's a whole conversation in itself, honestly. But the yeah, the pre-orders, effectively what they're selling out of is the maximum amount that they're going to produce. It's not made to order. It's effectively they have what they plan to make, and then that is the pre-order amount that they're going to go to. They're not going to make more, but they might rerun it. And then what you get after that is you get those things of, okay, well, clearly there's a need and want for this particular one because it's sold out in minutes. Let's pop it up again. Let's allocate another amount. Let's talk to the factory and see if we can create more. So there's an element there where that's what's happening. That's the process that they're going through. It's there's an initial amount based on what they're actually maximum going to make, and then if it sells out really quick and there's clearly a want and need for more, they'll pop up again because they'll extend it. They'll say, well, we'll make more. We'll add another this. We'll add another that. And then that's how it kind of works with those kind of things. Now, in terms of the early access email, I'm with you on that. They need to sort out their IT in a massive way because I feel like, well, first off, never bank on an email because email in itself is not a consistently reliable source of getting information in a timely manner. Yes, it's obviously it's a tried and tested way of actually communicating in a professional manner, but in terms of a timely one, email can be like the worst way to communicate. So this is why, like, staying on top of knowing when the pre-orders are going to be dropping, finding out about that kind of information through like our channel, for example, but other channels as well that are on top of that stuff, following certain people on like certain social platforms that have that information and those kind of pre-order links like early and quick. That's what you sort of need to do. You don't rely on the big corporation to sort you out, because effectively all they're doing is putting the stuff out, people are buying it, and that's all that matters for them. So I agree with your point 100%. But I would say, like, it's one of those things where you sort of have to adapt. You sort of have to go, well, they're not going to help me. I'll find that help in a different way. And you don't have to necessarily be, like I said, you don't have to be like watching every live stream we do and looking at every single second of everything. But it's one of those things where you sort of have to kind of change because they are not going to change. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things. If you just consistently throw rocks at the big bad company, they're not going to feel it. They don't care. And they don't at the end of the day. The brand team does, I guarantee that. But in terms of the company, probably doesn't. They don't even notice it. 17.2 Nate says, I pre-ordered 2. Here's hoping you get an emergency vehicle of some kind. That'd be crazy cool. Matt says, I got firefighters, one for me and one for my dad, who was a volunteer firefighter a long time, at least 30 years. That is a long time. My goodness. I know I failed you. Hi, it's me. I'm sorry. I really do wish I'd got pictures of the back of the boxes. It was one of those things, actually, that, when you look at the setup, you're like, I don't want to move anything because I'm going to knock something over. But when I asked Lenny, he was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's take some pictures of the back. I was like, yes. And then we got kicked out. And I was like, crap. So, yeah, again, I'll take full responsibility for that one. What are the numbers usually? I don't know what the numbers are, Robert. I just know that there are set numbers in order, that they do that kind of thing. But yeah, that's the process, but I don't know what the numbers are. Breaker is sold out. Yes, the app needs cache cleared periodically or uninstall and reinstall. It's a shame that has to happen, isn't it, Justin? But yeah, it's a pain. They really do need to sort that out. Hasbro, 60 breakers should be enough for everyone, right? Yeah, that's what it feels like. Hopefully Target will get some for in-store designation. But they have been showing up like the Tiger Paw. Hopefully. I missed out on Breaker. I'm sorry, Drew. Elite Legend Toys and Collectibles says Shillcast. Okay, thanks. What did I do to shill you? Why does the shill voice of G.I. Joe sound like Mr. Belvedere? I don't know, because I'm sexy like that. Also for Target, the pre-order is a set amount for e-commerce sales. It doesn't pull from their physical store inventory. That's an interesting point, actually, Paul. Yeah. Patience has paid off for me when it comes to collecting, big time. Absolutely draws on that one. I got on at 1 and got 2 of everything. More will come up for pre-order soon. Yeah, they'll pop up again. Plastic Battle sounds right to me based on finding sold out in store. Yeah, definitely. Super 7 didn't notice that AI artist gave Wild Bill 6 fingers. Yeah, Lone Dragon, it's a weird one. That it looks really bad, that particular thing. It also, I'm not sure if it is an extra finger or if it's been doctored, so it's been like they've removed it from the trigger and they haven't quite completed the trigger guard properly, if you know what I mean, because it's pointing in the wrong direction if it is an extra finger as well, so it's really bad. And it's the same color behind the hole in the trigger guard as the explosion behind it, so it's like it looks like a finger, and if it's not meant to be, then it's an unfortunate mishap that should really have been fixed a little bit better. Do you know what I mean? But at the other side of that is, if it is AI, that's such a crap thing to do, isn't it? Like, seriously, what a crap thing to do. Did I get kicked out for trying to get pics of Lenny's backside? Yes. Robert says the influencers in the community have their fingers on the pulse of the toy lines. Best to get involved in the Facebook groups and Insta. Yeah, definitely. I didn't see it until I was at work. Not worried, only irritated. Yeah, no, it still sucks though, definitely. I still don't understand why they didn't put out some kind of official post, some sort of messaging to say this is coming, or at least look out on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern for some pre-order drops. You know, like, it doesn't have to tell you exactly what they are, but maybe just like, oh, pre-order coming on, you know, because I know that the Marvel team tend to do that, don't they? Like, or at least one of Dan or whoever on the team will post things on Twitter and like other, like, you know, on their socials and say like, oh, you know, look out for this, we're going to be doing this sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, break went up really early in the morning. It was so weird, Paisano. I got a breaker at 5 a.m, says Robert. That's crazy. I saw the email for 2 p.m. pre-orders at 5 p.m. Oh, totally, Jay. Like I said, it's absolutely an absolute mess when it comes to like emails, and the sort of like messaging to fans needs fixing, I think, personally. Just pre-ordered my Snake Eyes. Nice one. Jeremy says my group always has the information. That's awesome. So go check out Jeremy's Facebook group. Missed Once a Man, Nemesis Immortal, and now Breaker. It's annoying even being a Hasbro Pulse member. No, I totally I agree with you, Jay. Unless you are literally there. This is the other thing. A lot of people don't have the opportunity at 1 in the afternoon to be able to do this, to be able to just, like, even knowing in advance, it doesn't necessarily help, because, you know, you might be in a job where you don't have the luxury of just breaking away for 5 minutes to you know, to do something. So I get it. It sucks. I almost wonder if it would be better if they did the pre-orders at like a kind of evening. I guess it's like trying to get everything in a comfortable spot for, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what the answer is at the end of the day. Pulse members should get a chance before 5 times orders are taken for scalping. True. Anyway, lots to go into, I guess. I can't wait to miss Crystal Ball too, says Cal. That I'm worried about because it's Walmart exclusive. That really is a scary one, isn't it? But that'll be on the 13th. Right then, let's move on. There's more images to look at. Sorry, I got caught up in there's a lot of chat going on at the moment, which is great. absolutely fantastic, of course. Pulse isn't any better on the other side of the pond here in the UK, although today's worst flub is the Carnivac versus Iron Fist Reckon Doom pack didn't appear at all. Interesting, CH. I did not... Yeah, that's weird. Target putting Breaker up at 5 a.m. was surprising for sure. They've done that a few times, and then they pull it back, and then it goes up again. Like it went up yesterday, didn't it? For like about 5 seconds, and then it was ripped down again. Although the listing went up, I should say, not the actual in stock thing, but the listing went up the day before. They ripped it down while people were looking at it, even though it was unavailable. And then, yeah, and then like right in the middle of the night, it pops up, and people can order it. Really odd. Beachhead and Quick Kick are who I'm sweating about. As far as I'm aware, Beachhead and Quick Kick aren't up for pre-order on the 13th. I think that was just like an early look at that 2-pack. It's probably going to be spread out throughout the year because we've on the listing we have like 3 Walmart listings, don't we? Crystal Ball, Beachhead, and Night Force Quick Kick, and then there's another 2-pack on there, I believe, but we don't know what that is. So I imagine it'll be spread out through the year over the Walmart events. I don't know why I've stopped kind of moving through these images. We did talk about a lot of these images yesterday, which is totally cool. So I'll just kind of like the beautiful shots. I really want to get Matt Cohen on Shooting the Galaxy, and Corey actually from Hasbro to talk about the photography again, because I think that'd be really cool to get stuck into again, like, and be able to get into a bit more detail about specific photo shoots. Whereas the first interview with Matt was more about the general sort of thing, the general aspect of the job, and some like, you know, a little bit of talk about technique and stuff. But and then we went into some of the shots, some of the shoots. But I think it would be nice now to kind of get into a bit more detail regarding some of these Dio shots, which are freaking amazing. Yeah, phenomenal. And I love this shot. Again, firefighters run marathons too, you know. Oh yeah, the Hasbro Toy Shop days, Max. Oh god, yes, they were bad. Hi, it's me. Says, seeing how nothing is sold out but Breaker, I believe Target will have them in store around release date. Keep your hopes up, boys. We can only pray, can't we? Oh yeah, so price wise for we're not talking about Snake Eyes yet. So all the prices were pretty much on point from what we could gather, and the new price point for Snake Eyes kind of fit into what we were talking about. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. More images of this wonderful Firefighter. It's just really cool. I'm really into this, and we do have a couple like extra images that I don't think I had yesterday in here too. This is a good one as well. We did actually have this one in here, but I didn't think we did at the time. And then of course there's the holding of the tank, and then we had these ones which I kind of showed on the screen through my phone, but not on the full screen. Like the layout of all of the accessories on the blanket. Lovely touch. I like that. Again, it's a really good loadout. I'm really kind of excited to get this character so much. And then this beauty of them just kind of going, well, that was rough, wasn't it? Sitting against the side of the house after they've been inside, obviously sweating and being inside fire for the entire time. Who is carrying the Reaction Plus figures? Well, Super 7 web store, Target, and I guess Walmart. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely Target and Super 7. Anyway, yeah. So there is the fire. Right, that's the Firefighter. Check. Now we get Alvin Breaker Kibbey, or Anakin Breaker Kibbey in this particular Dio shot. This definitely felt like, have they done, was it Mustafar? Have they done a Mustafar Dio? Because I feel like this was definitely a reutilized Mustafar situation. Was there something wrong with the Hasbro Pulse app? Usually is, yeah. Usually is. Right, that's the Firefighter. Just Amazon and Target for Reaction Plus. Thank you, Jay. Okay, cool. So yeah, Alvin, Breaker, Kibbey. Here is the loadout that the character comes with: the spearhead with bubblegum attached, the pistol and silencer, the dagger, the mass element, and of course the backpack, cable, and helmet. Again, can't wait for this one. Target exclusive, as we said, it would be. Theme change for Target as well. I'm not sure if the theme will be some like coherent thing, or if it will be like, sort of like mass device, as a theme can only go so far. And I also think that with some of the other figures that we might be seeing in the line, you'll probably, like, CoverGirl, for example, is a retro carded figure. It's not like mass branded, but it's effectively a mass device character. You think about those sort of things. The snake armor is, very much mass device related sort of character, the snake armor, as well. And that's, again, within this sort of year, within this sort of line plan. So it's not, I'm not sure what the theme for Target is going to be going forward. If it's just going to be like other Sunbow related episode homages, or if it's going to be something different every time. Who knows? So yeah, so we're kind of in a position where it's like we don't know. I actually think there's a possibility we could return to Tiger Force and Python Patrol again in the future. I don't think we're done seeing Tiger Force and Python Patrol. Not at all. But I don't know when it's going to happen. Do we know when the divers are going up for pre-order? Most likely the 18th, 80s Toy Boy. Most likely the fan stream. In real life, was Breaker light grey? In the cartoon, he was. Because this is a mass device homage, which is a cartoon. So the Sunbow. And here he is on Mustafar, fighting all of the Sith. No, this is a pretty cool dio. Obviously, the whole idea behind it is the volcano element that they retrieve, and that's obviously what's going on here, which makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, can you believe we've got a blooming fan stream on the 18th as well that's also going to be carrying pre-orders? Let's face it, it's going to happen. And we've got Walmart Collecticon, Crystal Ball, etc., coming as well on the 13th. It's crazy how much stuff is coming. It looks like Breaker has the high ground, right? You were supposed to be the chosen one. Anyway, he looks great, and I'm looking forward to this one. Kind of like ticking boxes with some of these figures, and then obviously the little extra element addition as well is really nice. Love that. Here he is sweating a little bit, but now he has the high ground, so he's out of it. He's just wiping the sweat off his brow, but high ground achieved. And another shot here of him with his bubble gum popping, or not popping, but just big, and shooting something in the distance. You were my brother, Breaker. You were my brother, Alvin, and the Chipmunks. Yeah. So the snake armor will be taller than the hiss. Crazy. It's pretty massive. Eternity Forever says, looks like I'll be watching the Mass Device again. The only way I'll get to see Breaker today. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry you didn't get one. Again, keep looking. They'll pop up again. Trust me. They'll pop up probably most likely on the Target website. Keep looking. Keep going for it. It is not over. From my point of view, the Arashikage are evil. I like all of these quotes from what is effectively, yeah. I loved you, Alvin. This is great. This is what I'm here for. Here he is cutting a piece of he's literally cutting the element with a dagger here to get it in that mass device thing. Again, the bubble, brilliant. All his gear on, really cool. I like this figure. I like this dio. It's fun. And there he's holding his chest piece. How does he feel about sand? I'm not getting into that, Zed. It's coarse and gets in places and all that. I can't remember what he says now, but yeah, only one of the most famous and most memed lines in a movie ever, and I can't remember what it is. You were supposed to blow the bubble, not pop it. These are great, by the way. Nice one, Jeffrey. Is the mass device anything to do with Energon? Asks William. Well, could be at some point. The mass is mentioned, isn't it, in Duke's miniseries? So yeah, I think, and it's something that I think is going to be important when all is said and done in the Skybound Energon universe. So possibly. Matt says, I'm just here for the comments. I know, me too now. I always order my Target pre-orders through Pulse, then I get them in store before Hasbro ships, so I cancel the order, so more will come available. I like that. Is it Big League Chew or Bazooka Bubblegum? Blitz says Big League. I was a big League Chew fan. I remember when I went to the States for the first time as a kid, I was so excited to get that kind of the purple grape flavor or whatever it was. I was so excited to get some. Felt like I was chewing, like, mainly because I was a massive fan of the Predator movie and spitting it on someone's foot. I didn't want to actually chew tobacco though, so Big League Chew was perfect for me. In fact, I saw some today in a store and I was so tempted to grab it. I might actually do that tomorrow. I might actually get some Big League Chew just to feel like I'm hunting predators. The aliens versions, not the other type. Either way, I would hunt both. Purple flavor, indeed, Lone. Yes. Anyway, Hubba Bubba says Max. And then this is a nice shot as well, showing the little. Obviously, he's got the extra chest seg. That's been used quite a bit recently. I think Quick Kit gets it too. The little grunt flap down chest piece. Love it. And then this one was the extra image that I didn't see until later. But this is him obviously being lowered or airlifted out of said volcano with mass element in hand. He's either being airlifted. Well, he's obviously being airlifted out because he's got the mass element in his possession. So obviously he's cut it, he's put it in the container, and he's being airlifted out. He wouldn't be being airlifted in to put the element back, would he? So yeah, he's obviously being airlifted. I imagine via Dragonfly as well. But ever so cool. Love it. Brilliant stuff. Breaker. Like I said, keep checking on the target link. It might not. I mean, you might get lucky on Pulse. You might get. They might pop up again. You never know. But I would definitely be more mindful of the target link and it coming back into stock. But keep looking, keep checking. You never know. He should have come with a small hammer, indeed. Right then, next, the retro card backs. I don't know why I've done it in this order. I really don't. I don't know why I did Legacy Firefighter, then Breaker, then Retro. Like, it's all over the place. But that's me, isn't it? Anyway, the retro card backs. A few more images to check out here. I've gone with, I've kind of laid it out a little bit more, kind of, makes sense now. So the pose on the explosion background, I have kind of mirrored with the actual card back. And I've got to say, my only issue with this cover girl artwork is the lighting. I feel like she should be lit better from the front, but other than that, I quite like the artwork for her. I don't have an issue with it. I think proportionally she's fine. Dynamic. It's like a cool pose. She's running. She's got the Sunbow rifle. It's cool. I don't have a problem with it. Maybe a bit more emotion on the face would have been kind of cool. Just anything like screaming, yelling, smiling, anything would have been interesting. But that kind of, yeah, it would be. I don't have a major issue with this one. I do have an issue with the Flint artwork though. My God. Then we go through. We've got the figure and layout and accessory layout and everything. Multiple heads, obviously. And if you've watched I assume you've watched the Toy Fair interview with Lenny, because he kind of goes through a lot of the stuff I'm going to be saying now. But quite incredibly, that has done ridiculous numbers. So thank you very much for all of you guys who have watched that. think it's at like 11K. Like, we don't do videos that do that. Like, I do not make videos that hit those sorts of numbers. So thank you very much for watching that if you did. But yeah, anyway, 2 heads, 2 hair pieces that are interchangeable. So you can have, so the hair pieces also come off the heads. So you can get multiple different displays and like, you know, options with CoverGirl. And I think that's kind of how you're supposed to do it, and you should do it. It shouldn't be the case where you have to say, like, if you've got 2 different hairstyles, they should be changeable on the different heads that you have, so that you can, yeah, you don't have to be kind of stuck with the same facial expression with a certain hairstyle. And I think that's a great way of doing it. Lovely detail to add to this particular figure. I think she looks fantastic. Really happy to be getting a retro CoverGirl, and her loadout's pretty good as well. Actually, the Sunbow rifle, obviously, it is a mass sort of related item. The pistol, obviously, that she came with, and a wrench makes sense. And then, of course, that huge sledgehammer, lovely stuff. And spare hands as well, so she can be punching stuff too. Brilliant stuff. Anyway, let's have a look at all of the different shots. Sledgehammer usage here, running with sledgehammer, chilling with sledgehammer. You can see that the wrench fits in the loop at the back there of the belt, so pretty standard stuff there. Here she is with the fists getting in a fight, and you can also, it's a nice shot of there as well of the detailing on her left bicep, which obviously has the E4, her sort of kind of rank grade. Then you have Krieger and was it armor? So you've got her, obviously her name and her specialty on there. She's literally got a whole file card on a arm basically there, but it's a nice touch. She would look amazing in the Ramen Toys Wolverine setup. Absolutely, Droz. That actually is a pretty good shout. Many pre-orders on Target always sell out on pre-orders, just like the HC Dinos, but on release day there will be plenty. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully. Anyone else want a salute hand standard for all Joes? Kind of, Max, actually. That's a good shout, because maybe they could do a bag of salute hands. Maybe we could get like salute hands with yeah, with what do you call it? Like an accessory pack or something. That'd be really cool. Love all these accessories other than rifles and pistols. Cool. Yeah, and here's another shot. The neutral face with the long hair, running and pointing a pistol. You know, keeping it real. Now we get into Flint, and this is where I do have a little bit of a like the artwork on the card. I think proportionally it's all over the place. Lighting isn't great. Even though I don't think the hand has 6 fingers, I do think it doesn't look quite right as well. It almost looks like it's been cut out and stuck on separately. Does that make sense? Like it's been drawn, then cut out, and then stuck on there, and it almost looks like a layer, like a felt that's been stuck on there. Hydrus, thank you very much for the super chat. That's very kind of you. Thanks for keeping us updated on all going on in the community, Chris. Your efforts are much appreciated by many of us. Yojo, full force. Thank you very much. That's amazing. Super. Thank you, Hydrus. We really I really appreciate that. We really appreciate that here at the Full Force. Thank you very much. Chad says artwork is terrible. Yeah, it's not great, is it? It's a shame because, like, again, Flint was one of those ones I was super looking forward to, and the figure is phenomenal, but the artwork on the card is not great. And I kind of feel like for the retro series, isn't the art quite important? You know, like the art's is an important part here. Do you just sort of, when it's like Flint, for example, do you just use the original Flint art? Because that surely is pinnacle. It's a brilliant, that Garrido Flint is phenomenal as well. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to stay on that because it's just a little bit depressing. But anyway, the figure is anything but. It's brilliant. Obviously, you've got the Cobra Commander glove hands in there. So you've got the point and you've got the open hand. It's an interesting one to have for Flint, that one. That does feel a little bit more like villain, that one. Pointing, for sure. Definitely want the pointy finger for, like, you know, battle and all that kind of jazz. And of course, I get the fists, all good. But in terms of the kind of like that one, seems very villainesque, that one. So I don't know necessarily. I mean, I know why they've done it, because it's an available tool and they wanted a couple of hands, like Cobra Commander already exists. So just do them. It kind of makes sense. Pip says, seeing a live for the first time in 5 years, and we're at Flint from the UK. Go the UK, full force, Shropshire. Thank you, Pip. Appreciate that. First time in 5 years. Am I always that out of sync with the UK timing? I'm really sorry. I have fully left, haven't I? But no, thank you, Pip, and appreciate the shout out from Shropshire. Lovely stuff. Holster is a bit bulky for the pistol, says SMB. Yes, not the first person to point out the bulkiness of the pistol holster. Something I forgot to ask about as well at the show, because again, I was so excited and just, happy to be there, honestly, and filming and chatting and seeing lots of friends. It was good. It was awesome. And I've got to admit, I really love the vibe at Toy Fair. It's different. It's not a convention, so it's slightly different. And of course, it's like a trade show, so it's more about deals going on and showing upcoming product and stuff like that. But it's a really nice vibe, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, cool. Anyway, so there's Flint. Here he is pointing at Flint with no beret on. So why are you not wearing your beret? Here he is kneeling again, and also showing off how his hands can connect to his secondary to make it look like he's pulling on his braces. Love that. Like a proper Cockney geezer, giving it the old wee. You won't understand that unless you're from the UK. Brilliant stuff. Love the hair on Flint. I think he looks right. I love the head sculpt, honestly. I think that this is absolutely brilliant. I love this figure. I can't wait to get him in hand, honestly. Oh, can't wait. Cannot wait. And here he is, like kneeling again, this time with his shotgun. He loves kneeling, doesn't he? Someone said the other day he's getting prepared to propose to Lady J. I missed the Toy Fair magazine. Yes, me too, Scott, actually. Is this Flint just another retro Duke repaint? Don't know, actually. I don't think so. Different arms. I think the body might be this. I can't tell, actually, if the body's the same. Obviously, different head sculpt, different beret. The legs are probably a reuse, but again, that's kind of like to be expected, isn't it? Like I don't really have a problem with like elements being reused in like legs and bodies and stuff like that, especially if it makes sense. But yeah, brilliant stuff. Loved it. And that retro Duke is a banger anyway. But yeah, different arms, different head sculpt, obviously, different secondaries. There's a lot of different stuff on there. It's only effectively the torso and the legs in it that you're talking about, with regard to Duke. Oh, legs are Stalker reuse anyway. Yeah, that's a good point. So torso only. Thank you, guys. So it's just the torso. Yeah, in terms of Duke reuse. Cool. Okay. Again, I can deal with that. And then we have the Televiper. This is, again, this one I'm totally cool with. Card art, again, quite dark on the lighting on the front there, but it's like my favorite of the three in terms of the artwork. I really love the Televiper, and I can't wait for this one to be in hand. Like the same heads obviously being used again here, but this is a really interesting way around budget and cost and all that kind of stuff by effectively just having the same head 3 times in a pack, rather than like having to retool different things and just putting a couple of different decos on the visor. So yeah. Does this one have 5 fingers? 2, 3. Looks like he's got 4 on the front. 3, 4. It looks like he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like he's got 4 on the other hand as well. I think we're okay in the fingers with the Televiper. Anyway. FC Viper, this AI art does not look as bad as the other retros. Yeah, exactly. That is a new vest. Yes, 80 Soy Boy. So yeah, there you go. The reason there's no alternate skin deco on this one is because of the arms. Because the arms are sleeveless, they couldn't do it like that. So you never know. There might be in the future, they might do another Televiper kind of like reissue. But because again, I think I want to say we've had different skin tones for the other Televipers, haven't we? Of course we have. Both of them have had different skin tones because they don't have the sleeves. Paul says really needed a neutral face on this one. They could have maybe tooled another head, couldn't they, and just used that 3 times. But again, this is definitely I could see why they've done this. Does the blue on the retro Televiper match the blue on the retro Cobra Soldier? No clue, Corey. Not a clue until I have them next to each other. New vest for Claymore later, says Jeremy. Indeed. Here's the loadout. It's just the backpack, the cable, the TV gun, and the 3 heads. But again, this is a nice one for army building. And of course, you don't have to army build blooming friggin' trouble bubbles at massive expense now. That's a good point, White. You wanted the visor letters to be a bit brighter. And I will say that it's not super clear on the visor. You really have to kind of have a look at it when the certain lighting's on there. In person, you could see it nice and clear. But again, on some of these promo images, a little bit of light hits it and it does disappear into that sort of grey visor. Which, yeah, it would have been nice to have a nice kind of like very clear red on there just to really, really stand out. But yeah. And again, more shots. Here's I think there's a couple of new ones in here. I did have the running one and I did have this shot, but I didn't have that one on the right there where it's kind of connected to his backpack and the hose loops round sort of thing. So kind of showing you how to store the gun and the backpack together when the figure has it on the backpack. Anyway, yeah, lovely stuff. And then we have Snake Eyes and the polar bear. So this is really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff to get into on this one because there's a few more images to show you as well. So we'll start with obviously the loadout. We have seen this one earlier yesterday and probably even the day before, I think, because it's quite a few streams going on recently. I've literally been non-stop, haven't I? I feel like this has like been ESPN 24/7 news on G.I. Joe. GISPN. What? So yeah, you've got the polar bear, obviously. You've got the polar bear second alternate head, screamy head. You've got the battle damage piece, the mass device element in canister, the mass device element in radioactive containment, the dagger, pistol, sunbow rifle. You've got 2 C grip like regular hands. Then you've got radioactive hands, C grips, kind of chopping hands and fists in glow in the dark pink. Lovely stuff. And of course, the trap, the bear trap that is actually the trap on Timber that he kind of rescues Timber from. So I was expecting more promo images with Timber thrown in as well, but I think maybe they didn't want to kind of like confuse and make people think Timber came with the set as well. Not that would really happen for a lot of us, but these things happen. So I get that. But it would have been nice to see the trap in and I can imagine there are going to be so many people, toy photographers out there, that are going to be using that bear trap on Timber and showing Snake Eyes kind of like helping him out of it, just like in the cartoon. Is the Televiper gun an anti-drone gun? Could be. That's not a bad shout, Ratislav. Paul says the TV gun was always usually a camera of sorts in multiple instances. Yeah. Isn't it some sort of audio transmitter or something? And I can't remember what they call it in the vintage card now. I'm going to have a quick jaunt to 3D Joe's. Shout out Carson at 3D Joe's. And I'm going to look at what that Televiper accessory is actually described as. It is it's VHS transceiver. Hang on. So it's okay. They carry a standard modular radio pack that contains as a main unit a VHF transceiver equipped with an automatic frequency hopper, a crypto unit, and passive jamming and anti-jamming devices. The Televiper helmet contains high-resolution earphones with overload dampers and 2 sets of voice-actuated microphones. The interior of the helmet offers an alternative LED readout triggered through the optional computer pack. Optional transmission modes include microwave beam and laser, both available as add-ons to the basic pack. I love how it's talked that. I love that. That's so funny. It's called a VS11 scanner, a commuter pack, and hose. So it is a VS11 scanner. It's a scanner, basically. And then in the comics, it's been shown to be a screen, hasn't it? That he kind of they'll point in the face of like Cobra Commander or something when they're talking to someone, like almost like a he's like a mobile like friggin Skype or Zoom person, basically, which is quite funny. Anyway, Snake Eyes. Here's more shots of Snake Eyes himself, with the radioactive hands on as well, which is brilliant. And in with his regular hands. I love this version. I love the fact we've got like a cartoon version, the purple deco, the radioactive glow in the dark hands, just awesome. The trap is articulated white because you'll see pictures of it in a second being articulated. This is my favorite. First of all, showing you the polar bear standing up is hilarious. But it's a big old boy, 9 inches high, I think they said. And it's massive, this thing in person. There it is there, just to show you kind of itself on all fours and standing up. But then you see it next to Snake Eyes. Yeah, it's 9, isn't it? Basically 6, 7, 8. It's easily 9 inches, probably a little bit more, actually. Probably a little bit more. It's almost like YMCA. We just need a C and an A, don't we? I should have put a C and an A on the right, because you've got Y and then Snake Eyes is literally doing an M shape. I should have done YMCA, shouldn't I? That's brilliant. Anyway, brilliant stuff. Love this. This bear is going to be reused for some Adventure Team Legacy pack, right? You'd think so. You'd think they'd want to reutilize this. Like, it's not like a bear and a polar bear are the same, but come on, maybe they could do a couple of different tooling changes just to kind of get it close, and then reuse like the body and the like the legs and stuff. I don't know. We'll have to see. But they're not the same looking creatures, unfortunately. As contrary to popular opinion. But anyway, I love this image. Now we get into the promo images, and there are a couple of new promo images to check out as well, including a glow in the dark promo image, which is really, really cool. Can the bear put his arms down? Yes, he can, because we'll see that as well in a second. So here is the glow in the dark shot, which is absolute. I just want to say this is one of my favorite shots of all time. I love what Matt and Corey did here with this. I love the framing of Snake Eyes. I love the little details, like his hand is glowing because that's the arm that he's holding the radiation, irradiated canister with. He's got the dagger ready for a fight. The bear is like, you can see the mouth open. There's just so much. This is a really good shot, and I love it. One of my favorites of all of the promo images of all time, in actual fact. This is a beauty as well, obviously, showing the glow in the dark elements. There's an element of glow in the dark on the canister too, which is great. Love that. And yeah, just brilliant. Destro Designs, hello. Hell yeah, this is awesome. I love the field report from the Toy Show, brother. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate the kind words. Loads of people have watched that. I am so blown away by the response of that video. Honestly, it's been crazy. Scott says, looks more like black light. It does a little bit, doesn't it? Good job there aren't any stains showing up, is all I'm saying on that one. The other canister stuff glow ? Probably. If I go back to the loadout, yeah, it looks like, well, it looks like it might do. I don't know, actually, is the answer to that one, because I don't know. Genuinely don't know. Can anyone answer that question? Did I miss that? I don't. Well, because it doesn't show the other canister. Well, obviously it wouldn't show it because he's holding effectively the radioactive version of it there, isn't he? Like the contained version of it there. Yeah, maybe. I hope it does. But yeah, there's specifically these hands and that part of the canister do though, which is great. Here you see him kind of in the light now, but again with the glowing hands, it's really good. I'm just really into this. Oh, blacklight is used there, definitely, Paul. It was definitely used there. I was joking about the fact that there weren't any stains knocking about. And then we've got this beauty. Now I don't know narrative wise if he is like about to use this as a weapon or if he's just kind of helped the polar bear, because then in like the narrative aspect, he then ends up sort of like triumphant here and then riding said bear in a second as well with some of these other images. Here he is again holding the canister and again looking a little bit worse for wear radioactive wise. Here he is actually in the middle of the fight. I'm a better reporter than Hector Ramirez. Great jobs. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Chris, did I see the BotCon exclusive ramen toy tank with the Megatron deco? I did, up close and personal. It's amazing. Can someone ask Hasbro about Action Force next time? I can't believe everyone missed the opportunity. Do you mean as in like them using it? Because in terms of or do you mean like more characters from it, James? Yeah. The thing is, some questions we can't ask if it's in relation to are you doing these characters in the future? So no one does ask them because it's just it's one of those things where they don't necessarily answer it for you. In the past, they have just said nothing is off the table character wise, with the like I suppose the exception of someone like Hooded Cobra Commander, which again has been off the table for a while. Will that change? Possibly in the future, but they don't tend to comment on those questions, so we don't ask them. But in terms of characters, if the fact that we've seen Quarrel show up would insinuate that, yeah, we're probably going to see more characters in the future. So it's one of those things where I think we want to ask those questions and have them answered. Do you know what I mean? But like in the sense of it being not like a wasted question, but like, you know, it's asked all the time and it's just the same answer. So it's already been answered, if that makes sense. But yeah, effectively, we've seen Quarrel. I wouldn't put it past them to do another, you know, kind of Palatoy or even International Heroes sort of thing in the future. Long Online has got a little bit of insight here. He said, Lenny told me at Comic-Con that Hooded Cobra Commander was a possibility. So maybe it's a situation where it might pop back onto the table. Justin, the problem with Hooded Cobra Commander is a sensitive one based on it's a sensitivity based on them not wanting to touch hooded characters because they're concerned it would be too close to something like the KKK, right? It's not like it's not necessarily said out loud, but that's why it is like not touch. We can maybe think, well, that's silly because it's got nothing to do with that. It's Cobra Commander. It's had that for ages. They've had, you know, all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we understand the nuance of it, but it's one of those things where they just don't want to touch it with a 20-foot barge pole because they're probably concerned about the, you know, blowback, the kind of like the negative publicity it might bring. But again, at the same time, it might even probably just happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's probably going to happen at some point. Like, people are like so adamant about it in comments about wanting it, but like they know that if they put that out, and Hasbro also, let's face it, they're probably weighing up the thing of it would probably be an immediate sellout, wouldn't it? Let's face it, based on the long like game plan of holding it back for so long, but also weighing up the hassle that would come with it. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely think they could do it and no one would bat an eyelid, honestly, because it isn't a close approx. It's just, you know, it's a character with a it's a character with a cloth on his head. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, in any case, yeah, and they did. Yeah, I was just about to talk about that 80s toy, but I was just about to say Baron Zemo came out. So maybe it is an option that they might, you know, you might see it. It might pop up like in the next couple of years. But for the longest time, we were told from multiple places. There was an element. There was a comment from Brian Flint at Super 7 ages ago when we did an interview where he said that was off the table. He said that in a public interviews that, as a license, they wanted to do Hooded Cobra Commanders, but they were told that was the only one they couldn't do. So yeah, that's the kind of conversation around that basically. So yeah, that's effectively the long and short of it. Would I want to see it? Yeah, absolutely. It would. Like I said, I'm sure it would literally sell out. Just kind of do a similar vibe to Chrome Retro Cobra Commander. Probably more so actually, because it'd be the first one, wouldn't it, that we had for ages. Does anyone know what's going on with the Trench Viper kit? Other than it's sold out, Destro? No. It's sold out. It's not available to pre-order anymore or order. Fingers crossed that some of them pop up again, in the future. I can see it being SDCC exclusive, says Lawrence. Possibly. Ryan, I think, that is a very good point about Baron Zemo. Marvel and Disney were probably more adamant that came out than, and it's one of those things where there's a bit more pressure coming from Marvel and Disney. But maybe, the other thing I've heard as well is they're not really that, what's the word? Like involved in that. Like usually that's left up to the Marvel team and it gets approved or not, is what I've heard in the past. So it's like different but the same at the same time, but it's just a different company behind it approving it. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think we will see a Hooded Cobra Commander at some point in the future. Will it be this year? Probably not. Will it be next year? Possibly. Will it be the year after that? Even more like. I think they just want to give it some time, but I think it'll happen. I do. I personally think it will happen. I just don't expect it to be the next blooming release. Yes, someone just sent me from Bobby B a bunch of images of the in-hand Trench Viper and modular fortification. So I'll post those after this stream is over. Looking at more of these beautiful images. Here is drunk Snake Eyes. Go home, Snake Eyes. You've drunk way too many radioactive canisters, mate. Seriously, how many radioactive J2Os has he had? I also know J2O isn't alcoholic because I used to drink them all the time. What was the last Hooded Cocoa we got? Jada Minifig, Jeffrey, I think. Yeah. And also, this is really funny, an official use of Hooded Cobra Commander that came out during the time period where it was like frowned upon appears on the front cover of the officially licensed Total Toy Books Action Force International Heroes book, which I think is absolutely genius. Hi, it's me says confirmed Hooded Cocoa next release. I might have heard that wrong. Yes, you have clearly heard that wrong. Robert says still have Armored Space and 91 versions to go. Yes, we do. Snow Angel Snake Eyes, says Leon. Yeah, this is a little bit, isn't it? That's Molston. It's a bit nuclear, says Draws. Yeah, indeed. Here is another good shot of the battle damage on the old polar bear. I feel sad for the polar bear getting battle damage, but this is a matter of survival here, isn't it? Right now. And then of course we have, here he is with his arms down a little bit more. He's not Y now, he's a little bit more down. I imagine they do go to the side as well, all the way to the side. We'll have to see when we get that in hand, won't we? Maybe the tummy kind of prevents that articulation a little bit, but I'm sure they kind of spray out a little bit as well. Yeah, there he is, being a big polar bear. Here he is with the arrows in his arm. Poor thing. I agree, James. I agree that the Action Force movie opening is better theme than the G.I. Joe one. No, I tell a lie on that one. I think the Action Force Sunbow intro, I prefer the music to the G.I. Joe cartoon standard. But the G.I. Joe movie intro, I think, is a more powerful theme. I love that. I think it's amazing. But yeah, I have to say, I am like number one G.I. Joe movie theme, but number one Action Force standard cartoon theme wins it for me. Then we have Snake Eyes riding the back of the polar bear. which I think is quite funny. And I think, oh yeah, then we get, this is the part that I think a few people I wanted to talk about. These are extra images. So this shows the, there you go, the articulation of the trap, which is awesome. So it does actually articulate, which is brilliant. And we can, you can use that on timber or on whatever you want. Honestly, I can see lots of uses for this trap. Maybe even used to as a weapon to be wrapped around someone's face. Harsh. Anyway, that is all of the images. Listings wise, this is what we're looking at currently. I've greened everything that is now on pre-order. So that includes obviously 60th Search and Rescue Firefighter, Breaker, Snake Eyes with Polar Bear, and Televiper, Flint, and Covergirl. As you can see, we've still got a lot of yellow to kind of go. So Frag Viper, Blowtorch, Darklon, and Footloose, I still think are pretty much odds on for the 18th, honestly. That next like wave of retail 4 figures, I fully expect to see on the 18th of this month for the fan stream. And then possibly maybe even like renders for Snake Eyes version 4, possibly Sci-Fi, Monkey Wrench, and Night Viper name only reveals, or even renders. They might go straight to renders. I still think, obviously, we've still got their like Law and Order. So I imagine they might go up for pre-order on the 18th as well. The Cobra Diver 2-pack might even possibly go up then as well. Then you've got Crystal Ball on the 13th. We know that obviously already. Night Force Beach had a Night Force Quick Kick. As far as I'm aware, would probably be later in the year. I think it was just sort of like a reveal of that 2-pack. But we do know that Crystal Ball is on the 13th. So keep an eye out for that one. And then, of course, as we go through everything, the Snake Armor is also a possibility for the 18th. The Ore Striker, I don't think so, but mainly because we didn't see it. Maybe they reveal the Ore Striker on the fan stream as like a, just to kind of show it off. That'd be kind of cool. The Claw, I mean, when are we going to get, it's got to be pre-order soon, hasn't it? The Claw, my goodness. At least we saw it in reality and like real life over the Toy Fair weekend. That was great. And then Slice and Dice, who again is a possibility for pre-orders as well. I doubt we'll see the green shirt and the bat for the retro for a while, probably later in the year, because of course we've just had a retro wave go up. Anyway, yeah. Where is Windmill, says Paul. Indeed, where is Windmill? So that's where we are at the moment. Ralph T, we don't know what the deal is with that one, but that is a listing. There you go. Now, next, 2026. No changes, unfortunately, guys. I know I'm kind of disappoint you every time with that, but this is all we know for 2026 at the moment. This will grow and it will probably develop, and of course things will like become more clear over time. So have no fear. We will surely get, in a similar way that this has grown, this will grow as well closer to the time. And 2026 is mental to be getting stuff now, honestly. Claw pre-order for 10/27, says Paul. That's hilarious. It might be at this rate. You're never going to see that pre-order, are we? And then, of course, for all the kind of official stuff, Snake Eyes version 4 is the only name-only reveal that's out there at the moment. He's on his own, unfortunately, just floating around. Then for digital renders, we have the Ore Striker, Slice and Dice, and, of course, Cold Slither. Will we see some? Well, we probably won't see Cold Slither at all until SDCC now. We've seen the renders, but we probably won't see the figures until SDCC, because I don't think we've had it in the past where they've kind of revealed SDCC stuff up until the actual like the week of the event, like officially through, like IGN or IO9 or someone like that, and just before the actual event kicks off. So I don't think we'll see the figures for Cold Slither for a while, but I definitely think Ore Striker and Slice and Dice might be shown off sooner rather than later. They strike me as more kind of Yojo June-ish sort of options, though. But we'll see, won't we? Anyway, one more thing I wanted to say, guys, before I go is March the 9th. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got like about just under a week to go before the 9th is when pre-orders come to a close for this t-shirt, which is a collab between ourselves and Codename Iowa. The wonderful Brian Sauer knocked up this wonderful design for the Dietrich family, who of course lost Aaron Dietrich, a good friend of the show in general, just a good friend, passed way too soon, of course. And we wanted to do a little something to help the family. So we have popped this t-shirt up for pre-order until March the 9th. Please, if you can, go check it out, codenameiowa.com. And you get a cool t-shirt of Aaron Ironblood as well, which is really dope. All the proceeds go to the Dietrich family. So like I said, go check that out. And it'd be great if you could, help out in a little way by, picking one up. Anyway, that is everything. Thank you so much for joining me for going through the classified pre-orders from today. It's been a busy 4 days. We had obviously like Toy Fair was crazy pants. I did do an Intel episode, like a Patreon episode on Sunday for our patrons. If you want to check that out, that is obviously patreon.com. Link, of course, I think links in the description. But yeah, if you want to become a patron of the show for extras, bit behind the scenes, bit of that, this, that, and the other, you can go check that out, of course. And we have different levels, obviously. But yeah, if you're interested, go and check it out. In any case, guys, thank you very much for joining me on this particular episode. I will probably be, I don't know, it's going to be a bit busy week, isn't it? I'll probably see you before the weekly, I'd imagine. Will we? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what more could actually happen. But we've got, we've still got the 13th to come. Walmart, that'll be exciting. Again, more promo images to get stuck into and enjoy, I'd imagine. And then the fan stream on the 18th. It's kind of this month is probably going to turn out to be busier than Yojo June, which is crazy to think about, isn't it? In any case, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much to all of you guys in the chat and all of the support. Really appreciate it. Thank you again for watching the Toy Fair videos and stuff. They've been crazy pants. So I'll see you on the next one. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. The Shillcast. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.